Hi, I'm Alice and I'm a canine behaviourist and training advisor here at Battersea. Today we're going to look at how to care for and train deaf dogs. Caring for a deaf dog or a dog with reduced hearing is obviously different to caring for a dog that can hear. It will take time and patience, but that's the same for most dogs. As owners, we need to adjust our training methods and how we care for them to suit their needs. Let's take a look. Part 1. Deaf dog training basics. How not to startle your deaf dog. Deaf dogs won't hear you coming, so can often be startled by an unexpected touch. It's not always possible to make your deaf dog aware of your presence. It's a good idea to practice desensitization exercises to make them more comfortable with an unexpected touch. When your dog is relaxed but not facing you, very gently touch them somewhere not too sensitive, like their shoulder. When they turn around, immediately greet them with a treat and repeat this a few times. Over time, your dog will associate an unexpected touch with good things and are less likely to be frightened. Getting a deaf dog's attention. There may be times when you need to get your dog's attention when they are at a distance and facing away from you. For example, when they may have found their way into the bins, or you may need to call them back in from the garden. If you need their attention inside of the house, the easiest thing to do is to walk into their eye line and get their attention. If that's not possible, you could try lightly stomping your feet. This isn't to frighten them, but just to feel their vibrations on the floor. Alternatively, you could try turning a light on and off. If you're outside, we would recommend that you keep your dog on a long lead and harness unless the area is completely secure. You can gently move the lead to get their attention. Alternatively, try throwing a ball across their field of vision. Help a deaf dog keep track of you. A deaf dog won't hear you moving around the house, leaving the room, or even the house itself. Turning around to find that you're missing can cause anxiety and may lead to them trying to find you. This can become even more stressful if you leave the house completely and you are nowhere to be found. Before leaving a room, it's a good idea to calmly get your dog's attention so they can see what you're doing. This is particularly important before leaving the house so they don't try to search for you unsuccessfully. As with any dog, you can make a deaf dog feel more comfortable spending time on their own by gradually building up the time that they spend alone. You can also provide them with a long-lasting treat, such as a Kong, so that the time by themselves is a positive experience. Part 2. Training your deaf dog with hand signals. Despite what people might think, training a deaf dog is very similar to any other dog. Whilst we tend to focus on voice cues, we can also use hand signals and gestures which your deaf dog will learn to respond to. Aside from that, training a deaf dog is all about positive reinforcement, just as it is with a hearing dog. When teaching hand signals to a dog, it's important that they are obvious, clear and consistent. You may need to exaggerate your hand signals initially and then reduce them to smaller signals over time. As with any training, it's important to remember that it should be fun and rewarding for the both of you. It may seem unnecessary to speak when you're training a deaf dog, but it may actually help the process. Smiling and speaking when you sign, particularly when praising, can actually help the dog. They will pick up on your facial expressions and positive body language. Teaching a good dog signal. Use this to tell the dog they have done something that you are happy with. When your dog does something positive, make an O between your thumb and index finger and make sure that they can see you. Use this sign whenever your dog does the desired behaviour and then reward them with a treat. This sign can be used as a form of clicker training for a deaf dog. Teaching a watch me signal. This command is useful to get your dog's attention, particularly if they are distracted or worried by something in the environment. Show your dog a treat and hold it out to the side nearly at arm's length. Hold the treat between your thumb and middle finger with your index finger pointing back towards your face. Your dog will naturally look over to the treat, but the moment they stop looking at it and give you eye contact, give them the good dog signal and reward them. Keep practicing until the dog is consistently giving you eye contact when you present the treat in this way. Over time, you can gradually increase the duration of eye contact before you give them the treat. If they break eye contact, you're moving too quickly. Once they've mastered this, you can begin using the hand signal without the treat in your hand, but remember to still reward them. Teach a recall signal. Recall is a very useful command, even if you don't intend to have your dog off lead in public. A deaf dog needs to be able to see you to respond to this command. First, get their attention by getting into their field of vision and waving at them. Once they have seen you, hold your arms out wide and be enthusiastic. Make yourself look as happy as possible so your dog is encouraged to come back over to you. When they do, give them the good dog signal, reward them with a treat and give them some affection. Teacher walk-on signal. Although you want your dog to be able to focus on you and respond to your commands, you want them to be able to enjoy the sights and smells of their walk. Walk on is a useful command to teach them to direct them to look ahead and carry on. Holding a treat in your hand, bend your arm at the elbow and point your index finger in the direction you want them to walk in, releasing the treat as you do so. As your dog goes to retrieve the treat, use the momentum and carry on walking in that direction. Over time, your dog will learn to face and walk in the direction you point. If you're struggling or you feel like you could do with some extra support, we would recommend you getting a trainer who can help with your situation and find what's worked best for you and your dog. That was our advice on training and caring for your deaf dog. If you'd like to learn more about teaching your dog the Battersea way, make sure to hit the subscribe button below.